The people of this country are being violated because all of our privacy is being taken up by Elon Musk and Trump, and we don't know what all they have on us. We don't know what all they have on us.
We're here today because we have filed charges against the state of New York. We have filed charges against Kathy Hochul. We have filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who is with DMV. This is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens, and angel moms, like the mom standing right behind me, who you're going to hear from in a moment. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today.
Evil's not bluffing. One of our satellites is falling out of orbit.
Which one?
It's the one that looks like a pair of
big balls.
Lord almighty!
That looks just like my husband's. Big balls.
Are they nice and firm?
Well, what do you think?
Look at that! It looks like a set of giant.
Big balls here.
Wang! Pay attention.
I was distracted by that enormous flying...
Big, B-A-L-L-S.
Wait, that's not a woodpecker. It looks like someone's...
Big balls online.
Johnson,
Yes, sir.
any sign of that satellite?
No, sir. It's gone.
If you were trying to conduct audits and figure out where the waste, fraud, and abuse is, I don't know why you would go to some tech guy. In fact, it was only techies that were sitting there at inauguration. We didn't have auditors. I would welcome auditors to come.
As for the actual receipts, we are happy to provide them, and I actually brought some today because
We sent millions of dollars to Gaza for condoms.
this is a DEI contract, $36,000 for U.S. citizenship and immigration services. That is against the president's policies and his America First agenda. This is a $3.4 million contract, a Council for Inclusive Innovation at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Department of Commerce, another DEI contract that DOGE identified. I can continue to go through these. Oh, I love this one, $57,000 for climate change in Sri Lanka.
No, 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 no! Wait! Wait!
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? We'll fight against DOGE. We'll fight Elon Musk. Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Let's make America great again, Trump. Let's make America great again.
These people are crazy.
This other thing about Elon. Elon's going to steal everybody's money. He has $400 billion. I'm telling you, he's not going to steal your money.
I want my mommy. I want to get out of here.
I want to find out what kind of corruption is really around.
Despite the lawfare and the politics, President Trump loves the American people and he loves this country.
And we could never have imagined.
The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he sees as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your
What is up, guys? Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Shout out to everybody watching, catching this on the live. Come on in. And catching this on the replay. Type in replay in the comment section. What is up, everybody? We got a nice little house today. Happy Wednesday evening. It is like the semi-late show, I guess it is. I don't know. Shout out to the moderators in the chat. Kudos to the moderators in the chat. And then shout out to everybody catching this on the live. Oh, man. What is up, Rob? Simply Serene, Catherine, Matt, My Mind, Gina in the house. Gina in the house, everybody. Just Marie, Simply Serene. I think I already said that. Catherine, what is up? What is up? Man, oh, man. We got a lot of stuff cooking. We got so much stuff cooking. It is like an abundance of memes and just news. It's great. It's fantastic. It feels great. Look at this. Here we go. Leticia James. No one is above the law. Oh, man. Oh, man. No one is above the law. Anyways, Karoline Leavitt had a presser today. Absolutely crushed it. Crushed it. People are saying in the chat, what's up, Rob? What is up, Rob? People are saying in the chat, Elon can have my data. Elon probably already has all the data, so it doesn't matter, right? I honestly trust Elon more with the data than I do with the previous administration. The previous administration leaked so much data. They gave information to China. They gave everything away. And people are worried about Elon Musk. Come on, you know? He's the largest car manufacturer in the world right now with Tesla. He has so much data. So much data. Thank you. She said that intro was first class, Tyson. Thank you so much, Catherine. Really appreciate you. Thank you for that. Kudos. Where's my cheer button? Oh, man. All right. Karoline Leavitt. She's great. How many of you guys like Karoline Leavitt? Just Marie says, anyone heard of Lindy Lee? Yeah, Lindy Lee's making headwaves too. We might jump into that a little bit here. Karoline Leavitt coming up with the receipts. She came with the receipts today. It was a little bit in the intro. But the Democrats are up in arms. They're up in arms about some bull crap because their slush fund, their security blanket, their $150,000 annual salary that converted into a $9 million net worth, Gavin Newsom, they're upset. They're upset because they're not going to get the slush fund anymore. USAID ain't going to pay you no more. Okay? It is crazy to me, the ridiculous amount of spending that has been happening. It is crazy. Gina says, Karoline gives me life, LOL. Yeah, the cringe is like nonstop with the Democrats right now. They're protesting. They're just showing up. They're making fools of themselves. They're absolutely making fools of themselves. Let's jump into this Karoline Leavitt clip here. She drops the receipts.
I think it's a real fallacy that there's this alleged lack of transparency when it comes to DOGE. President Trump and Elon Musk have been incredibly transparent on what DOGE is doing. There is an X account with the DOGE handle. They are tweeting out what they are doing on a daily basis. They have a website where they are posting the receipts of the contracts that they are reviewing and the payments that they have stopped from going out the door. The secretaries of our departments have stopped from going out the door. And I would also say that before it was Elon Musk making our government efficient and accountable, it was some unnamed bureaucrat that none of you knew. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He's also now one of the most highly scrutinized men in the world alongside President Trump because of what he's doing and the access that he is allowing. So there's great transparency. As for the actual receipts, we are happy to provide them, and I actually brought them today because all of you know I love to bring the receipts. We have contracts upon contracts that we can send and provide this information to you. Let me be very clear. We are not trying to hide anything. We have been incredibly transparent and we will continue to be. These are screenshots of contracts that DOGE found across our government. This is a DEI contract, $36,000 for U.S. citizenship and immigration services. That is against the president's policies and his America First agenda. This is a $3.4 million contract, a Council for Inclusive Innovation at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Department of Commerce, another DEI contract that DOGE identified. I can continue to go through these. Oh, I love this one. $57,000 for climate change in Sri Lanka.
Climate change in Sri Lanka. That's what we need. That's where we need our taxpayer money to go to. Climate change in Sri Lanka. And testing hamsters if they get aggressive, if they take steroids or not. Yeah, these are good causes.
What is this doing to continue the interests of the American people? Absolutely nothing. These are the line items across the federal government that DOGE is identifying daily. They're moving very fast. There's a lot of paper that we can show you, but we're happy to do it. This administration has been more than transparent about what DOGE is doing. And here's one of their tweets that they posted about the mine. I believe this is in Pennsylvania, where the federal employee retirement system is being processed.
Hold up, time out. This blew my mind yesterday when Elon announced this at the Oval Office, because they did a presser after the executive orders signings with Donald Trump. Elon and is it Lil X? No, that's a rapper. X. This is his son X. Lil X is a rapper, I think. But this blew my mind. There was a limestone mine where 700 plus government employees work 230 feet underground where they file retirement paperwork. What? Catherine asked Catherine said, did you guys see the blind guy testify today about overseeing government efficiency? That is hilarious to me. Obviously, he couldn't see nothing, right? He didn't find anything because he can't see, right? That was crazy. I'm going to jump into this limestone mine here in a minute, but this blew my... And they ride around in tricycles, guys. They ride around in tricycles to file retirement paperwork.
Did anybody know this was even happening in our country before Elon Musk talked about it in the Oval Office yesterday? A lot of Americans didn't. So we are providing transparency and accessibility on a daily basis when it comes to DOGE. And I also have a DOGE daily report, if anybody would like it, on all of the things that they are identifying and finding. We're happy to provide this information to you. We're talking about it every single day.
Gina says, why would anybody care about if the richest man had their information? I'd be worried about broke people who want to steal my identity. Exactly. Right. And Elon, by the way, he's not taking any payments for his job at DOGE. He's doing it for free. I'm sure there's some other stuff he can find, but it's bananas to me. And the media in the press conference area, they're fear-mongering. You guys have probably seen it all around the intro web. That is the internet. For those of you that are new, people in the comments, it's not the intro web. It's called the internet. No, I know it's called the internet. Okay.
Many outlets in this room have been fear-mongering the American people into believing there is a constitutional crisis taking place here at the White House. I've been hearing those words a lot lately. But in fact, the real constitutional crisis is taking place within our judicial branch, where district court judges in liberal districts across the country are abusing their power to unilaterally block President Trump's basic executive authority. We believe these judges are acting as judicial activists rather than honest arbiters of the law. And they have issued at least 12 injunctions against this administration in the past 14 days, often without citing any evidence or grounds for their lawsuits. This is part of a larger concerted effort by Democrat activists and nothing more than the continuation of the weaponization of justice against President Trump. Quick news flash to these liberal judges who are supporting their obstructionist efforts. 77 million Americans voted to elect this president. And each injunction is an abuse of the rule of law and an attempt to thwart the will of the people. As the president clearly stated in the Oval Office yesterday, we will comply with the law in the courts, but we will also continue to seek every legal remedy to ultimately overturn these radical injunctions and ensure President Trump's policies can be enacted.
Radical left judges securing sanctuary cities. ML says Elon is not the richest man in the world. Correct. What about the Rothschilds and the Vanderbilts? Exactly. Nobody knows who the richest man is. Maybe it's the Wizard of Oz. Perhaps, right? I would say richest in the United States knowingly, right? There are some Saudi and Arabian princes and things like that that don't really talk about their net worth. But yeah, well, that's where I'll leave it. What is up, Stephanie? Stephanie in the house. She says, coming in late. Hey, beautiful people. Stephanie in the house. What is up? What is up? Where are they going? To let blind fly planes next. Sums up the Democrat Party. A blind man looking for money laundering. Yeah, that's why he didn't find anything. I thought it was a joke the first time I saw that. How many of you guys in the chat saw that with this blind guy testifying today? I did post a video about it earlier, but we'll jump into it. How many of you guys saw it? Let me pull it. He was literally wearing sunglasses. Where is it at? Wendy Williams. Let's see. Here it is, right here. Look at this. Let me jump in the chat real quick. What is up, Terry? Terry in the house. Hope you're doing amazing. Look at this. Okay. So he's this guy is the director of government affairs for NGO called POGO, the Project of Government Oversight. All right. This guy is literally blind.
From abuse, and abuse is different from both. When we talk about improper payments, they are a subset of those other three categories. But that doesn't tell us the whole picture either. Sometimes improper payments are a function of bad record keeping. Sometimes they are a function of outdated information technology systems. Sometimes they come about through human error, and sometimes they come about through negligence. There are a variety of reasons why improper payments happen.
Guys, okay. Rob had pinged me in the comments, and he was like, hey, this would be a great SNL skit. You know what? It would be a great SNL skit. It is crazy to me that this is actual reality. This is reality. They elected this person to discover fraud and money laundering. He's blind. I don't mean to be super insensitive. How does he get emails? I'm sure there's technology where it reads the emails to him, but and I know that there's Braille keyboards, so I'm not that naive, right? But like, how is he looking for fraud? Because he's just relying on the information from another person. This is crazy to me. 2.7 billion went overseas to non-American citizens. Medicare and Medicaid, 1 trillion overseas student loans to foreign-born citizens. This is what Texas Patriot Mom says. Bananas. This is crazy. Crazy talk. We got stuff cooking today. We got stuff cooking. Okay, we have Doug Collins here. We got Doug Collins and we have Mr. Lee. We're going to jump into those two, but Doug Collins talks about this here.
Hey, everybody, it's Doug again. I can't believe it. I've been here about a week. And you know the one thing that hadn't changed about D.C.? It's the media up here that like to tell you stuff that they want you to believe. I'm going to give you a breakdown. This is how it happens in the media up here. They take a possibility and then they run with a story because they want you to believe it because they got to write something. And frankly, they don't know what to write because right now President Trump is making progress and this administration is doing what it said, making promises and keeping them. But let me tell you one that's right now. There's a one that's going around in the media right now about veterans benefits being cut. I'm the Secretary of VA. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not happening. They can do hypotheticals all they want. I'm telling you about reality. Reality is veterans benefits aren't getting cut. In fact, we're actually giving and improving services in our Veteran Benefits Administration. They're actually clearing cases quicker. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. There's also this rumor out there that DOGE is out there, is this infamous thing that's going to take personal information and do that. I'm telling you what, we got DOGE representatives here that are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and that is looking at our contracts, making sure that we have the best run facility for efficiency to make sure who? The veteran gets the care they need. I'm happy to partner with them to find things that we need to get rid of so that we can put the money where it belongs. You know where that is? Back with our veteran. President Trump's hit the ground running. We've hit the ground running. And like I'm saying, if you want to come for the real truth, come to see me.
Boom. There we go. You guys are loading up the comments with this DEI guy here. I got to jump back to Mr. DEI, right? Mr. DEI over here, right? Imagine how he showed up to the interview. They're like, oh, dude, this guy's white. This guy's white. He is, we can't hire him. He's white. But I'm blind. I'm blind. I can't see. Oh, okay. You got the job, man. You got the job. Michelle says, SNL. What is up, Michelle? Hope you're doing amazing. Nice to see you in the comment section. She says, SNL skit for sure. ML, if he's blind, what the hell does he keep looking at? Oh, man, this is, I can't believe this. This is exactly why they chose him, because investigation of fraud is impossible blind. Some jobs you can't do blind, like flying a plane or investigating money laundering. Facts. You cannot. How are you going to investigate money laundering when you can't actually see? Because you got to look at it line by line, right? He can read the report via Braille, I'm assuming, or audio, but it's all relying on somebody else giving him the information. This would be a great, what was that show that Ice-T was on? Law and Order, The Blind Detective. The blind detective. The first time I saw him, I was like, man, that reminds me of Daredevil. Daredevil is a Marvel comic. He's a blind superhero. But this guy ain't saving lives. Anyways, the gravy train, this was in a hearing today. They said the gravy train is coming off the biscuit wheels.
Recognize the gentleman from Tennessee.
You're going to put us
Mr.
further in debt
Burchett.
with your billionaire
You're
tax
not
cuts.
recognized. Mr. Burchett, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair Lady. The gravy train, for a lot of these folks, it's been on biscuit wheels, and it's about to run off the dadgum tracks, and it's about time. Could you imagine standing up here and defending waste, fraud, and abuse? But I think that's what we're seeing. When people squeal and don't ask questions, I think it shows the American public what the heck's going on. And that little gravy train is getting ready to run out. The spigot is getting ready to be turned off.
Recognize the gentleman from Tennessee.
That's why these people are freaking out. They are freaking out because the gravy train, the gravy boat is empty. The gravy train doesn't have any more gravy in it. Doesn't even have biscuits. It's all dried up, and they're getting mad. Maxine Waters. It's gross. Catherine says, the blind leading the blind pretty much sums up the Democrat Party. Yep, absolutely. The left is so disgusting using blind people to keep them in the dark about their crimes. Yeah. Be like, hey, listen, this guy right here, he investigated everything. He investigated. He said there was nothing wrong. There was nothing corrupt about what we were doing. Absolutely nothing corrupt about what we were doing. Meanwhile, he can't see. Yeah. Stephanie says, what about the missing money? Not even blatant disrespect in spending. They send 100K, but only see 50K out of it. Many cases. Gosh. I want to hear Kennedy talk about this. Yeah, if Kennedy was talking to this blind guy, Senator Kennedy, it would have been a roast show. It would have been a roast show. Oh, man. I can't get over this. I cannot get over. I saw this guy, this blind guy testifying today. I was like, this has to be a joke. This has to be an absolute joke. He's like, oh, we're fine. We're fine. Anyways, EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin announces that $200 billion in taxpayer funds were discovered. This is seriously, this is absolutely criminal. These folks that have been taking this slush fund, you know, the sad thing about it is, I don't know if any of these folks are going to get prosecuted, or they might just tie it up in legal for a very long time, which is sad because they stole our money.
Hi, this is EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. One of my very top priorities at EPA is to be an excellent steward of your hard-earned tax dollars. There will be zero tolerance of any waste and abuse. An extremely disturbing video circulated 2 months ago featuring a Biden EPA political appointee talking about how they were tossing gold bars off the Titanic, rushing to get billions of your tax dollars out the door before Inauguration Day. The gold bars were tax dollars, and tossing them off the Titanic meant the Biden administration knew they were wasting it. Following this revelation, during my meetings with members of Congress, I made a very important commitment to them and to the American people, which I reiterated at my confirmation hearing that if confirmed, I would immediately get a full accounting. Fortunately, my awesome team at EPA has found the gold bars. Shockingly, roughly $20 billion of your tax dollars were parked at an outside financial institution by the Biden EPA. This scheme was the first of its kind in EPA history, and it was purposefully designed to obligate all of the money in a rush job with reduced oversight. Even further, this pot of $20 billion was awarded to just 8 entities that were then responsible for doling out your money to NGOs and others at their discretion with far less transparency. Just under $7 billion was sent to one entity called the Climate United Fund. I'm sure you and I now have some of the same questions. How do these organizations decide how to allocate funding? How much money have they given out so far and to whom? Are there any former Biden EPA staffers who are now working at these entities? Let me make one thing abundantly clear. At this point, there is zero reason to suspect any wrongdoing by the bank. Here's my position as EPA administrator. The financial agent agreement with the bank needs to be instantly terminated, and the bank must immediately return all of the gold bars that the Biden administration tossed off the Titanic. EPA needs to reassume responsibility for all of these funds. We will review every penny that has gone out the door. I will be referring this matter to the Inspector General's office, and will work with the Justice Department as well. The days of irresponsibly shoveling boatloads of cash to far-left activist groups in the name of environmental justice and climate equity are over. The American public deserves a more transparent and accountable government than what transpired these past 4 years. We take our obligations under the law as seriously as it gets. I've directed my team to find your gold bars, and they found them. Now we will get them back inside of control of government as we pursue next steps.
Lindy Lee has been on a presser. She's recently switched from the Democrat Party. She, those of you that are familiar with Lindy Lee or not, just a little recap. She was the main entity that helped raise funds for Kamala Harris and Biden, and she's recently switched over to the Republican Party. And she's spilling all the tea. She's been on Sean Ryan. She's been on Piers Morgan, speaking about all the corruption that has been happening and relating to what this individual is saying. They knew that Biden was just going to do whatever anybody said, right? Presumably, right? I got to say that for the YouTubes, right? Because they be getting me. But Biden was doing whatever that they can, and they were riding this gravy boat, gravy train, gravy boat, gravy car, whatever gravy they were riding to fill up their pockets. They were making these faulty companies, funneling money. Same thing with Biden. Same thing with Biden and all of his doings with Hunter and his brother and all these other things. Catherine says, anyone who was involved in doling out the money and taking the money should be responsible for paying it back or face jail time. Exactly. I hope some prosecution comes out. Donald Trump said today that tomorrow, because he has a list of 200 names, I don't know if he's going to release all the 200 names, but he is going to release some names who have been doing this corruption. This is incredible. We knew this whole time that this was going on. Meanwhile, the Democrats are still doing a great job with their resistance. Oh, Stephanie says, why do people think that DOGE is made up? It was already a department by Obama, but was repurposed from what I understand and actually efficient. Trump and his team, Rob says Trump and his team are done. Yeah, they're draining the swamp. They're draining it. Listen to this here.
I need the city to protect me because the federal government won't. And if you think you're afraid of Trump, you should see how afraid of Trump I am.
Can you wrap up, please?
Yes, I can. If you say that you're afraid of Trump and that's why you don't want the city to be a safe space for trans people, you better prepare for trans people to make this a very unsafe space.
I'm shaking right now. Biscuit? I don't want to be here. Up, I'm sorry, am I taking too long pleading for my life?
You remembered how many children I have and that 2 of them are trans.
I speak as both the B and the T in the LGBT.
I'm multiply disabled. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder that causes me immense physical pain. I'm on the autism spectrum, and I have narcolepsy, and I couldn't drive myself here, so I had to hide from my driver that I was in drag, which is not an easy thing to do in drag.
I do not want to be here. It's my day off. I do not want to be in your DMs. I do not want to be in your email inboxes. I do not want my creativity writing diss tracks like Kendrick. I don't want to spend an hour applying glitter on my face so that you will hear and see me. I want you to listen to me.
Let us remember that the Nazis burned the books.
What is this guy's haircut?
The Nazis burned books on gender sciences first. Now the administration has villainized and marginalized migrant workers, trans, LGBT people, and even special needs, denying life-saving and affirming care.
Can you look at me and tell me how many of...
Yo, this guy right here. He was like, I'm gonna get a cut before I'm gonna cut my hair before I go here. The battery probably died.
And affirming care.
Can you look at me and tell me how many of my friends need to die before you do anything?
Please wrap up.
Look at me.
Okay, we're all done here.
fucking pathetic.
Well done. Come on.
Of course, we need to continue celebrating Black History Month because in spite of what's coming down from Washington, we all know that we all exist and we all need to be recognized for our existence.
But be aware that you are a guest in my house when you come. And when you come, know that there are strong queer and trans people in my classroom who will collect you with the quickness.
My name in drag is Dee Dee Delight.
I can't. That's tough. That's tough to watch. Oh man, that's tough to watch. I can't believe that doesn't help your cause by any means, you know? That doesn't help the cause at all. Meanwhile, Alex Stein's over here promoting to keep the big booty Latinas. He says, don't deport the big booty Latinas.
Big booty Latinas can stay! Protect big booty Latinas!
Man, what's up with that? Don't come over here disrespecting our women.
Well, I'm trying to protect them. I don't want them to get deported.
Fucking racist asshole.
How is that racist? I want big booty Latinas protected. Dude, I'm on your side. Tina, what are you doing?
You scared?
I'm not scared at all. What's going on?
Fucking push me.
Hey, I'm not touching you.
Push.
I'm trying to protect you.
No, the fuck you're not.
Yes, I am. You're a big booty Latina.
Hey, you say that one more time.
You.
If he says that one
what I say, big booty Latina. What are you gonna do? Big booty Latina.
One more time.
Big booty Latina.
Say that one more time.
Big booty Latina.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Big booty Latinas get to stay.
Just go to the back right now. Go to the back right now. I'll show you how much scared I am.
Oh, I'm real scared. I'm real scared. Protect her. I want to protect all big booty Latinas. If she's a 9, she's fine. Protect big booty Latinas.
Alex Stein, the jokester, man. He says, protect the big booty Latinas. If you're legal, you can stay. But if you're not, no mas. Ooh, don't hate the player, hate the game. Dropping bars, man. Oh, man. Big booty Latinas. BBL for life. That's what Stephanie says. BBL for life. Yeah. Johnny Sunglasses says, I learned tonight that Whoopi's real name is actually Karen. And The View trashed Little X. Yeah, they did. They're all a bunch of Karens on The View. All of them. All of them. Every single one. Oh, yeah. Catherine says free speech. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Matt Walsh talks about Jasmine, Miss Ghetto Crockett, Miss Ghetto Crockpot. I'm going to get in trouble with the YouTubes, man.
Jasmine Crockett is one of my favorite members of Congress. She's great because she's easily the dumbest person to ever walk through the halls of Congress, which is really saying something, but I think it's true. I don't even mean it as a joke. She really is the dumbest. She's extremely, extremely dumb. On that note, here she is in an interview with, I think, NBC, saying something that she doesn't realize she isn't supposed to say out loud. Listen.
Why do you think Democrats lost, and what do you think needs to happen by the midterms and the next presidential election in order to find your footing again?
Well, Kristen, no disrespect to you. I think you do great work. But the reality is that those that tune in to traditional news sources, they absolutely went for us. And we know that the standards that you have to live by as an actual journalist are completely different from other platforms. And so we know that we were winning for those that were tuning into the traditional news sources. But when it came down to people getting their news from places that really aren't even news sources, they were going for Donald Trump by 19 points. And that is exactly why we lost. The reality is that we're going to have to play in spaces that we've never had to play and make sure that we're communicating in all ways. Unfortunately, we can't just rely on the mainstream media to get our message across.
What makes it funny is that Jasmine is just saying this out loud. I mean, you're not supposed to admit that the mainstream media are Democrat propagandists. Did you forget you were on camera? Did you think this was some sort of personal Zoom call or something? She
literally said, hey, listen, if If you're listening to leftist mainstream media, they're bought and paid for by us. So you got to continue to watch that. You got to continue to watch the bought and paid for media that we bought and paid for. That Soros recently bought a bunch of radio stations and television stations. But we don't want to talk about that billionaire, right? We don't want to talk about that. It's crazy. Yeah, Rob says, we are the media now. It reminds me of, what was that movie with Tom Hanks and the... Tom Hanks. I got a video about Tom Hanks later on today, but that movie with I'm the captain now. We are the media now, for sure.
Jasmine Crockett.
Crocker Shiza. Now it's interesting here. They're so up in arms about Elon. They started posting these signs here. And there's a USAID logo on it. And it says, help eliminate Elon. What kind of rhetoric is this? Ratchet Crockett, yep. Yeah, Captain Phillips, that was the name of the movie. I'm the captain now. Look at me.
So we're at 400 Massachusetts Avenue Northwest, and this is what we see in a government advertising box. We don't know if the government allowed this or an individual, but targeting individuals, hopefully only using USAID's logo. It better not be funded by them or endorsed by them. The president is asking serious questions about where taxpayer dollars are going and whether or not it's the best and highest use. I, for one, think that Elon Musk and President Trump are doing right by the American taxpayers asking those questions. This is what's wrong with the process.
For sure. They are upset. They're like, oh man, my pockets are looking empty. We're not going to get paid for the next 4 years. How are we going to afford our multi-million-dollar mansions? No more government. Why are they looking into government waste? It's not waste because it goes to us. Who approved paying for that sign? You're fired. Yeah, that's a threat. Yeah, it's gross that they would do that and have this X with eliminate Elon Musk. Representative Robert Garcia called Elon Musk a dick and calls for actual weapons to be used against him. What a loser.
I want to hear why, but do you think that calling Elon Musk a dick is effective messaging for confronting what is a potentially irreversible transformation of the U.S. government?
Well, he is a dick. And I think he's also harming
emotional, damn it!
Well, he is a dick. And I think he's also harming the American public in an enormous way. And what I think is really important, and what the American public want, is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight for democracy, for the future of this country. And it's important to push back on the chairperson of this committee. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene talks about having decorum, about bipartisanship. This is the person that lies more than anybody else in the entire Congress. And so if she is going to make a mockery of hearings, I want to make sure that us as Democrats are bringing that same level of energy. And of course, after those comments, we went into exactly what Elon Musk is trying to do: dismantling the Department of Labor, dismantling the Department of Education, dismantling all of our consumer protection agencies. And so it's all important, but it's also important to get the attention of the American public and call Elon Musk out for what he is, and to make people know that Marjorie Taylor Greene is not a serious legislator and she shouldn't be treated as such.
Woosah, homie. Jessica says, man, this USAID thing is really driving them crazy. Yeah, because this is where all their money comes from. Saying, oh, he's a dick. He's a dick. Elon Musk is a dick. Where's Gina's comment here? Yeah, he has a dick and he has big balls. Yep. That's what Gina said. Yep. These guys, man, I cannot believe how up in arms they are. You would think, you would think and say, oh, maybe we shouldn't bring attention to this because we've been stealing money from the taxpayers for all these years. Maybe we shouldn't bring attention to this. Maybe we should just be a little quiet and be a little incognito about some things. But no, they're doing protests in the streets with Maxine Waters. Oh, man. And this is all that they've been talking about all day. Listen.
I want to make sure that I'm in the right hearing. We're supposed to be here actually doing a markup, and right now on the floor is the Recovery of the Stolen Checks Act, right? I just want to make sure that I'm in the right hearing.
What's up, Justin?
What I'm hearing is this has absolutely nothing, all the comments that we're hearing. There's a lot of charges that are being directed toward Elon Musk and toward President Trump with absolutely no evidence whatsoever. I asked the question yesterday, do we have any evidence that information has been leaked? Answers, no.
Will the gentleman yield?
I am not yielding. I am not yielding. You had your time, and I appreciate it. But ever since it was announced that Secretary Basant granted individuals associated with DOGE read-only access to certain Treasury payment systems, Democrats have not stopped making false accusations. During the Oversight Subcommittee yesterday, members had a chance to learn more from our witnesses about the allegations that are being directed at the administration and DOGE. They didn't ask. Our witnesses confirmed what we already knew to be true, that there's no evidence of illegal access or illegal disclosures of taxpayer information, and yet they still continue to make these charges. What we do know is because of this DOGE effort, because of Elon Musk getting in there, we have found $1.5 million that was sent to advance diversity, equity, inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities, $70,000 for production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $2.5 million for electric vehicles for Vietnam, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru, $2 million for sex changes and LGBT activism in Guatemala, $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt. We have uncovered an insane level of fraud within federal entitlement programs, estimating losses exceeded at $100 billion because of fraudulent claims and mismanagement. And last week alone, they revealed that FEMA allocated $59 million to house migrants in luxury hotels in New York City. And as a result of this, 4 employees from FEMA have been dismissed. Now, I'm sorry, I think these are all things that the American public is behind, that Democrats are trying to make a scandal out of nothing because they hate Elon Musk, they hate Donald Trump, and they're mad because they lost an election. I would really hope that we could come together and work for the American people. I'm at this hearing right now to look at some wonderful pieces of legislation, and with that, I yield.
Yep, Harry Balls. Harry Balls is coming at you. Harry Balls is coming at. They're acting like entitled. They act like they are entitled to our money. This is what Catherine says. Yep. Steph, send me that link. Elizabeth Warren trying to sing. It's my favorite cringe-worthy moment of the week. Send it over. I couldn't find it while this was playing. Let me see. Is it this one? No. I know there's a new one. There's a new one where she was shaken. I don't know if that's the one that you're referring to, but send it over. These people are going down, way down, and they're burying themselves with every word they speak. Yep. They are pissed because they can no longer steal anymore. The gravy train is finito burrito. Justin says, I don't care what side you're on. We need to save money. It's absolute craziness. Yep. Oh boy. These are meme-worthy things. Here is the mine that I talked about earlier in the video. So this is the mine where they process retirement paperwork for the government. And they literally ride around in tricycles. And they have everything in manila envelopes. What the heck? I didn't even know that this was going on. I had no clue. Absolutely no. Did any of you guys know about this? Because I didn't. When Elon Musk said it yesterday, I looked at it right away. I said, wow, this is an actual real thing. They have boxes with manila envelopes in it. It's 2025. We have AI. We have computers. And apparently when the elevator goes down in this situation, they're not able to process paperwork. Yeah, a freaking tricycle. She's like, oh, Stuart Smith's retiring. Let me hop on my tricycle and go to his file. Like, what? This is where the money goes? It's like Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory over here. I cannot believe it. Yeah, absolute time capsule. It's crazy. It's crazy. Here is the DOGE report of the day here.
Here's the DOGE report for today. So where is our money actually being spent? Well, they found that $3 million is being used to study steroid-enhanced hamster fighting. I think you could just go to like a bar at night, watch a couple dudes get into it, and know what steroids will do for a fight, okay? $2.3 million has been used for studying cocaine effects on beagles. Why don't you just spend about $1,500, get yourself a Coachella ticket, get a lawn chair, sit back, watch. You'll understand what cocaine does to anyone. Coachella, just go there. $600,000 in parrot romance. That's important.
Oh, I want to know about that one.
Actually, we'll keep that. $500,000 in racial aggression in mice. I'm sorry, do mice give a shit? They just want your food. They don't care if you're black, you're white, you're Asian. They don't care. They just probably want to get your food and your crumbs and in your house and on the streets and gross, okay? 1.1 million training mice to binge drink. Just go to UGA, pick a sorority house, pick a fraternity house, watch them on the weekends. They'll binge drink, study the effects after that. Free. Just again, lawn chair. See, I think we should just promote buying a couple of lawn chairs and go to a couple of these events. You'll get all the studies you need and willing participants. 2.1 million encouraging Ethiopians to wear shoes. That's effective for Americans, thank God. That's where our money is going. We know we can't buy groceries, but let's make sure those Ethiopians wear their shoes. I can't even get my kid to put their shoes on. Okay, can we maybe put a little money in that? Or sometimes I'm like, where's the other shoe? Why do you only have one? What happened to the second one? Okay. 187,000 verifying that kids love their pets. Unless you're raising Jeffrey Dahmer, your kids like their pets. It's just natural. Most people like pets more than like humans. I know, I do. 2.7 million studying Russian cats on treadmills. Why don't we take 2.7 million and try to encourage more Americans to use treadmills? Finally, 875,000 studying cocaine effects on quail mating. Again, lawn chair, sorority fraternity house, a good party. Watch what happens when cocaine enters the room. So in case you missed it, that is where your hard-earned dollars are going this week in the DOGE report.
Sickening. It is gross. That's disgusting. Rob said, not a single dollar should be spent until we're out of debt. Yeah. She's right. She's right on the money. She said, go to the sorority party or fraternity party and just introduce a little bit of cocaine. You can get your study right there. Or just go to San Francisco. You could just go to San Francisco and walk up and down the street and see what drugs do to people. That's it. That's it. Simple. Yeah, I have no idea. Janie says, why exactly do we need to know this information? Seriously. Yeah, no clue. It's just a money laundering scheme. That's just what it is. It's just a huge money laundering scheme. Trump has 200 names.
Widespread fraud and abuse.
Oh, yeah. Tremendous fraud. There's tremendous fraud. And it's hard to believe that you can have that kind of fraud. You're talking about are you talking about what? Wait. Which are you talking? You're talking about with regard to all of the investigations that are going on about this stupidity. What we're going to do is tomorrow I'm having a news conference. I'm going to read to you some of the names that hundreds of millions and even billions of dollars have been given to. And if you tell me that we should be giving money to those things, those entities, I think you'll probably have to leave as a reporter because you're not very talented. When you look at the kind of money, billions and billions of dollars being thrown away illegally, and there's no chance. I mean, I say it in front of our Attorney General, there's no chance that there's not kickbacks or something going on. When you give millions and millions of dollars to somebody that stands to look at something for 15 minutes and walks away with millions of dollars, that money's coming back in some form. And that's only one form of corruption. The biggest thing is what they do to our country. They're taking massive amounts of money and spending it on items. I went through a list of 200 expenditures that were made, and I found 3 that looked like they were reasonable. Okay, 3. And we'll be talking about that tomorrow. We have a lot of stuff. And I want to commend Elon because he's done a fantastic. He doesn't need this. You know, he's abused by you people every day. He's found more things than anybody could find. I think he's got the credibility to do it. I know he does. And it's his group of people. You know, they started off with 12. I call them 12 geniuses. They started off with 12, and they went to 20 and 25, and now they're up to almost 100. People are joining to help them because there's a massive fraud that's taken place.
You know, when you think about that, there's 100 people. He started off with 12, then went up to 20, then went up to 100 people. 100 people investigating these fraudulent activities. We're able to do this in less than 2 weeks. What the hell has the government been doing this entire time? This whole time? Talking about, oh, we need to raise taxes. Property tax, income tax, we need to raise tax. But meanwhile, you have all this overspending. If you just look at the P&Ls, the profit and loss statement, you can clearly identify which areas are unnecessary for the American people. And I am so glad that we are finally running this country like an actual business, because that's what it is. It is a business. Money in, money out, right? We all work for taxes. You know, we all work to pay the taxes, keep this economy rolling. But with the potential introduction of eliminating taxes and introducing more tariffs, you know, if you guys remember way back in the day, we only ran on tariffs. And the Federal Reserve, don't get me started with the Federal Reserve. I have a quick little tangent because my grandma showed me some like gold stamped, silver backed bills that she has. And they're certified stamped, like red stamped and all this other stuff. And I'm looking at the values of them, you know, and it's interesting because if you think back way back when, dollars used to be backed by silver and gold. Now they're not backed by anything. They're a promissory note, basically, a note to pay back debt. They're not backed by anything. Steph says they're coming in like a wrecking ball. They're coming like a wrecking ball. Risking my biscuit. What is up? Grocery stores might be on the rise, but so is cocaine supply and government for those lab rats. Yep. Terry said, I would love to join the team. I think if you go to DOGE, if you go to the DOGE website, I think they have, I think they're looking for folks. I think they are looking for folks. Yeah, we go to prison for not funding their lavish lifestyle. Exactly. It's crazy because we got punished in the past for not paying taxes. And there was a story that I covered a few weeks ago that I think it is 700 plus federal employees that work for the Department of Taxation have not paid their taxes. Yeah, it's absolute raping the American people. Just in case says, so I thought we were sending money to help the less fortunate countries and their people. Yeah. That was originally why USAID was started back in 1960s, in the 1960s during the JFK administration, but then over time became this co-op to start war machines, get people in power, do all these other things. Big ball smarter than 90% of the mainstream media. Yeah. And they're probably all under 27. 100 people all under 27. That's why mainstream media is upset. I shared this woman a couple days ago, Mrs. Wade, Magrath Wade. She's an entrepreneur out here in the United States, but she's an advocate for Africa. But here's what she had to say about this hearing too.
We need to hire a fourth branch of government called Elon Musk to go out and do it for us.
My name is Magath Wade. I'm a Senegalese-American entrepreneur. I've been living in the U.S. since 1998, and I became a U.S. citizen in 2018. I'm also an author of The Heart of a Cheetah, a book that talks about African entrepreneurship and prosperity. Mr. Raskin, your words earlier really worried me, and I will tell you why. When you say we are here, and we should be here to talk about Mr. Elon Musk and all the unconstitutional things that he's doing, and you said we shouldn't be here to talk about regulation or anything like that, first of all, I want to say, then why did you have me here? As an entrepreneur, my time is valuable. I came here because I thought we were going to talk about the regulatory state and why it matters. So you need to make up your mind on that, and I'm deeply offended by what you said there. Furthermore, I would tell you why I came when I was invited to speak on this. Because right now, everybody in this country, these issues of regulation, overregulation, has been made into a matter of partisanship. Are you from the left or are you from the right? I don't care. Because where I come from, the overregulation causes us to be where we are. My continent, Africa, is the poorest region in the world today because it happens to be the most overregulated region in the world. So if you don't see the value of overregulation, if you need and want to wait until this country becomes like most African countries, I don't know. I love this country and I don't want to see it go down there. And also, just so you know, what does overregulation mean for regular people? It means death, literally. People are packing themselves into little fishermen's boats, trying to leave nations that are overregulated, therefore no jobs, and then they have to leave and go seek jobs someplace else.
Has a point. Everybody's saying they want a refund. They want a refund. Yeah, I do too. Oh, man. Yeah, we the people have been treated very badly. How dare you expose, Johnny Sunglasses, how dare DOGE expose the corruption in Jack Smith? How dare you? Yeah, at this rate, the Dems, they are burning bridges.
Do we really need to?
They are burning all the bridges. Tulsi Gabbard. Whew. Tulsi Gabbard got sworn in today. I'm excited. JFK's tomorrow, right, guys?
Mr. President, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for the trust that you have placed in me to fulfill this critical position as Director of National Intelligence at any time, but specifically during this time. Unfortunately, the American people have very little trust in the intelligence community, largely because they've seen the weaponization and politicization of an entity that is supposed to be purely focused on ensuring our national security. So I look forward to being able to help fulfill that mandate that the American people delivered to you very clearly in this election, to refocus our intelligence community by empowering the great patriots who have chosen to serve our country in this way, and focus on ensuring the safety, security, and freedom of the American people. As you've said, Mr. President, this is what I've dedicated my life to, and it is truly humbling to be in this position, to serve in your administration, help to rebuild that trust, and ultimately to keep the American people safe. Last thing I'll mention, that in your National Prayer Breakfast speech, you made a statement about your legacy of wanting to be remembered as a peacemaker. I know that I can speak for many of my fellow service members who are here today, veterans, Medal of Honor recipients, how deeply that resonates with us. For those who volunteer to put their lives on the line when duty calls, but to have a President and Commander-in-Chief who recognizes the cost of that sacrifice and ensuring that war is the last resort, not the first. So thank you for your leadership on behalf of my friends here and all who wear the uniform. We're grateful.
Tulsi Gabbard, everybody. I like Tulsi Gabbard. Now let's get JFK up in there and Cash Money Patel. Glenn Beck dropped a bombshell on the PBD podcast the other day and saying, because Glenn is close with Cash, presumably, and said 10 days after Cash's confirmation, all the files are going to get shot out. Go Tulsi. Yeah, I like Tulsi. Terry sent this in the chat. I'll pop it up right here. So this is the official DOGE website. This is doge.gov. Looks like there are some work sources, some regulations, join, newsletter, savings. It breaks down. This is cool. EPA also canceled 3 DEI contracts, saving American taxpayers $45 million. 58 cancellations with savings of $150 million, categorizing, including media, DEI, and consulting. We wanted transparency, and we are getting it here. Oh, here we go. Posted this federal employee retirement processing using paper by hand in an old limestone mine. 700 plus mine workers operate 200 feet underground. Let's see. I know you guys were talking about joining. Let's see what this does. Hold on. Oh, here we go. DOGE team is looking for world-class talent to work long hours, identify, eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse. Look at that. All right. Those of you interested? Look at that. All right. Thanks, Terry. Appreciate that. Thanks for dropping that in. Stephanie with the super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. She said $2, 2 eggs for Tyson. Yes. Yeah. No, thank you so much for the super chat, Steph. Appreciate you. Steph sent something over via Discord, and I placed this. Yeah, this one right here. Are they going to show me an ad? They're going to show me an ad.
Any picture you want.
They're going to show me an ad. Skip the ad. Here we go.
Yeah. Which side are you on? 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 Come all of you good workers. Good news to you I.
Who is this lady right here? Who's that old lady on the left?
Of how the good old union has come in here to dwell. Oh, which side are you on?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Catherine said, yeah, I heard Glenn Beck say that on the PBD podcast. I hope he's right too. I hope he's right too. They're going to let everything out. Catherine says, Catherine confirmed RFK is tomorrow. Okay. Rob with the $20 super chat. Tyson loves omelets. Yes, I do. Thank you so much, Rob. Really appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? It's like a slave song or something. I don't know.
Well, look, Elon Musk, who doesn't need to do this, has, he could be doing anything else. He's got companies. He's the richest guy in the world. Has decided to give his own time to a government of a country that he loves, that has given him all this opportunity. I take him at his word that he wants to be transparent, that he invites transparency. Obviously, everybody in the English-speaking world media is looking into him every single day. I would have no fear if I were him about Congress. He hasn't been asking questions and looking into it. I think they are.
The definition of it is he's not been on the front end of this so far. He's not been transparent. I mean, there may be.
They are making routine announcements about the things they are finding, and they are inviting questions about the things they are finding every single day.
But by definition, he's not being transparent. They're not providing data for the things that they say they have found evidence of. They just aren't.
The White House has provided.
You can make announcements, and you also did admit that he actually.
So you just don't believe it. I mean, they are providing information. You just choose not to believe that it's true.
I don't think anyone should just believe that it's true. Do you think that people have taken kickbacks of tens of millions of dollars from USAID?
Here's what I think.
Do you believe that?
I think every year.
No, but don't accuse me of just like.
I'm just asking you. Do you believe that there is any level of fraud, waste, fraud, and abuse in the government?
No, that's not what you're asking me, and I'm going to ask the question. Don't accuse me of just.
And so, if you believe that, do you believe that it's possible that they are finding and producing information about it? Of course,
that wasn't my question. My question was, by definition, they're not being transparent. They can continue to be successful.
What do you want them to do?
Provide data. If they're provide data that they have found people. Everyone would want to know if someone has received kickbacks to the tune of tens of millions of dollars.
I don't disagree with you. I love the idea of data. I love the announcements. I love them putting out regular reports of what they're doing. Have not. And I love the idea of Congress also bringing them up to report to Congress.
This woman apparently didn't go to doge.gov. She can easily go to doge.gov and see the clear transparency. I think they've been pretty transparent and forthright on what's going on here. And then tomorrow will be a telling sign, too, also when Trump releases some names. And then we'll decide, which side are you on? Which side are you on? It's catchy. It's catchy. Pam Bondi made an announcement that they are charging New York Governor and Letitia James. Put them in handcuffs. Pam Bondi. Can you believe this woman is, she's 60 years old?
We're here today because we have filed charges against the state of New York. We have filed charges against Kathy Hochul. We have filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who is with DMV. This is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens, and angel moms, like the mom standing right behind me, who you're going to hear from in a moment. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens.
Chicago, too.
It stops today. We're here today because we have...
Chicago, too. Somebody leaked the information out to Aurora, Colorado, also. Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's catchy. It is catchy. It is catchy. I like this one better. Hold on, where's it at? I have a better version. Oh, this one right here. Here it is. Oh, man. Mr. Fogle came home last night. Can you believe this? This guy was in prison, in a Russian prison. I went down a little rabbit hole last night. He was brought home last night. He was in prison, in a Russian prison, for 3 years. 3 years for, I think there was some cannabis. They found some cannabis, I believe. Yeah. Stephanie says the Marine rapper can make a banger with that one. Yeah, shout out to the Marine rapper. If you haven't, if you guys aren't following the Marine rapper, give him a follow. Give him a follow. But Mark Fogle came home last night, and this was crazy because this was at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So Trump was still up. Trump greeted him at the White House, gave him a tour. But this guy has been in prison for three and a half years.
And Secretary Rubio, who met my son a while back, I'm a middle-class school teacher who's now in a dream world.
We're going to show you the Lincoln bedroom in a little while. It's a very special place. Appropriate for tonight. Very appropriate.
And thank you all. And I love our country. And I'm so happy to be back here. And I wish I could articulate it better.
You've done beautifully. And he's got a great mother. And when I saw the mother at a rally, she said, if you win, will you get my son out? And I promised. She's 95 years old. And I said, we'll get him out. And we got him out pretty quickly.
She told me that exact words.
I remember. She made quite an impression.
And you also did. Yeah. And I'm in awe of what you've done and your team.
It's great to have you back.
So Mark Fogle's mom actually resides in Butler, Pennsylvania. I watched something last night with her, but she attended the rally, and Donald Trump said, "Hey, when I'm elected, we'll get your son back. We'll get your son back." Yeah, he was popped for medical marijuana in Russia, and mind you, he's gone there a couple times to do some work with colleges and school students and things like that. I don't know why, but I didn't look into that. But this guy was locked up like Akon for 3 years. It's crazy. Tyson, I sent you some on email. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll check it out after this. Thank you so much, Bright Star. Thank you. I'll check it out. Fetterman should have greeted him last night. Yeah. Yeah, he did make a comment also. This story led me down another story with WNBA player, supposedly WNBA player, Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner was locked up in a Russian prison. They didn't say what type of prison that she was locked up in, but that led me down a whole nother rabbit hole with Brittany Griner. Because Brittany, I don't know if she should be playing in the NBA. That's all I'm going to say right now. That's all I'm saying. I don't think she should be playing in the WNBA. I think she should be playing with LeBron in the NBA. That's what I'm saying. So here's Mark Fogle's sister talking about promises made, promises kept. This is about a 20-second clip. Mark Fogle's sister here.
My mother went to the Trump rally and saw President Trump shortly before he was shot.
In Butler,
So
right?
it was
In Butler, where
crazy,
she's
yes.
from.
It was
Yeah.
just a crazy turn of events. And he told her then that if he was elected, he was going to get him out. And the man was true to his word. My mother.
It's great that he's back. It's great that he's back. Trump also announced on Saturday was the deadline for Hamas to release the remainder of the hostages. Hamas came back and said, hey, we're not doing that. I wonder what's going to come out tomorrow. I'll go live for that, depending on what time it is. Okay, so Stephanie, thank you, Stephanie. A lot of Christian groups go to teach English. My dad's ex-wife did a mission trip there, and they were hassled pretty bad. They charged money to get their own luggage. I would imagine so. I would imagine it's very similar to Mexico. I got harassed in Mexico a couple times. That's a good question. I wonder if he knew. That's good. All right, peace out, Justin. Nice to see you. Hope you have a good night. Jessica says, send Grinder back. Yeah. I came across this video of Tom Hanks simply because we're talking about, they're talking about releasing these Epstein files, talking about releasing all these things. Tom Hanks, man. Watch him squirm when they ask him this question.
I'm not sure how many times you spent the night at the White House, but I think the first time was in the Clinton administration. You were invited by President Clinton to spend the night. Tell me about what you recall from that.
That was a long time ago. There was always a lot of people in the Clinton White House. And so there's no smaller part of holy cow, I'm in the White House. This is a big deal. I will tell you, there was one time we happened to be in the White House, did spend the night. Me and the family had been in Washington, D.C. We were dedicating the National World War II Memorial at its opening. George W. Bush was president. I sat next to him, and we chit-chatted a little bit during the ceremony that was out on the mall. And we had arranged, my younger kids had not been in the White House ever, so we were able to arrange for a tour. And it was a Sunday, so it was a day off. And so when he was going to come down and I guess go to the gym or something, we were sort of like asked to go stand in one.
This guy's, yeah, you hit it right on the head, Bright Star. Tom Hanks is a creep. Him, Ellen, who else is on the list? Bill Gates, presumably for the YouTube purposes. Bill Gates, Tom Hanks. Yeah, they're quivering. Bill Gates was asked the same question a few years ago. He's like, I only had dinner with Epstein. I only had dinner with him. We're not friends. Oh man, yeah. Honestly, MQ, yeah, I can't either. I can't watch any of his films anymore. I can't watch any of Will Smith's films anymore. Honestly, with any really high productive Hollywood films, I'm really turned off. I'm really turned off by them. I can't watch them. I was even apprehensive to watch the new Will Ferrell movie. I had it on in the background while I was cleaning the house over the weekend. I was even apprehensive about that. I like Will Ferrell. I think he's funny. But just this whole situation is just ugh. But Reese Witherspoon was in the movie, okay? So that's why I watched it. Reese Witherspoon. I actually have recently subscribed to what is it? Who produced the that one movie about the child trafficking? Project Freedom or something like that. I can't think of the name right now. I'm having a little brain fart. But it's the same people that produced a new movie called Homestead. Angel Studios. It's called Angel Studios. There's some good movies on that one. I had to think about it. Yeah. Yeah, Angel Studios. I haven't seen Homestead yet. That's on my list. There was a good movie on there on Angel Studios called The Shift. That one was really good. I really enjoyed that one. I'm trying to look. Yeah, so it's called Angel Studios. I really like that. Sound of Freedom. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, Sound of Freedom. That was good. This was Inside Edition from 2005 about this. I'm excited for these files. I'm not excited for these files to come out. I'm excited to see who's on the list and then go after those pedos and prosecute them.
The notorious Lolita Express, the billionaire's private jet at the center of a sex scandal making lurid headlines across the world. Sleazy Wall Street tycoon Jeffrey Epstein used the Lolita Express to ferry a bevy of beautiful young women. Among the passengers, former President Bill Clinton and Britain's Prince Andrew.
On almost every trip that I did go on, there were young girls around.
In this Inside Edition exclusive, Shantae Davies takes us inside the secret world of the Lolita Express, named for the controversial book and movie about a professor's infatuation with an underage girl.
That's crazy
Shantae
that they
made several
named the plane
trips
that.
on Jeffrey Epstein's infamous Lolita Express. She says she was one of several young, attractive women hired to travel around the world, giving massages or yoga instruction to Epstein and his rich and powerful friends.
That's where I got to stop because of YouTube. But Terry said, got to watch, what is it? What did he say? I took a photo of it. Having some brain fog. Redemption of Henry Myers. All right. I'll check that out. I'll check that out. Catherine said that everything is connected with Angel Studios. Interesting. I got to look into that. Sound of Freedom actually has money behind it linked to the very elite trafficking ring that's all connected somehow. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, Hollyweird lately has really turned me off. Really turned me off. Not interested in watching that. Mayor Eric Adams had the charges. The DOJ dropped all charges from Mr. Eric Adams. And here's a little clip of that.
And Alvin Bragg. That's what this story is all about. Nothing else there. He went after Illinois because he wants to get Pritzker. Hates him. And the way to do that is to deny the states of Illinois and New York the federal grant money. The New York Post reports today $8 billion is going to get held up by the Justice Department that would have flowed into New York State, which is running an astronomical deficit here. Okay? So the easiest way to do this is to file civil suits against the governor and the attorney general. Then the question was, why is the mayor of New York left out? Because he doesn't matter. He doesn't matter. Trump wants to get Letitia James. Hochul is just an ornament. Doesn't have any bad feeling toward Hochul, Trump. But Adams, the deal that was made, I don't know what Adams is giving Trump. I have to tell the audience up front. I don't know, and I don't use anonymous sources, but I have gotten call after call after call that said, and all of these people have agendas who are calling me. They all have agendas, all right? And they're saying that Adams knows where the bodies are buried.
Letitia James and her lover boy, Nathan Hot Dog Wade, apparently, Nathan Hot Dog Wade visited the White House prior to the whole situation with Trump and Letitia James. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out where the quote-unquote bodies are buried. Michelle says it's hard to know who to trust as far as Hollyweird or Hollywood and who's done some horror. Hollywood is a crazy place. It's a crazy place. They do these things for fame and recognition. They'll do anything to be a star, a celebrity. And for so long, everybody looked at, oh, the celebrity tabloids. Look what these people are doing. Immediately when I'm saying that right now, I think of Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian became famous because her mom released a sex tape. They've done well with that, right? The whole family's done well with that. But she released a sex tape. Now she's famous. It's bananas to me. Yeah, go get her. Letitia James, for sure. She's out of here. Michelle Murphy says, Homestead's on the list too. I might turn that on tonight. Yeah, Letitia James. Letitia James are the Bonnie and Clyde of the BLM universe. Crazy. Loverboy, right? Loverboy, Nathan Wade. Nathan Hot Dog Wade. Oh, man. All right, let me get some shout outs here. I want to give a shout out again to Stephanie for the super chat. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Really appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Rob for the super chat. I'm buying some eggs tomorrow. I'm going to the grocery store and buying some eggs. Actually, coincidentally, I haven't bought eggs in about 3 weeks. I do like omelets, though, so thank you, Rob. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody in the super chat. Rob says Vienna sausage, Wade. I haven't had a Vienna sausage in a long time. Oh, man. I don't want to either. Oh, man. Okay. I want to give a huge shout out to the moderators in the chat. Shout out to the moderators in the chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. We got some of the best mods. We got some of the best mods in the business. And then shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for catching the live. Thank you so much for catching the live. And if you're catching this on the replay, drop a replay in the comment section down below. And smash the like button, like Stephanie says. Smash the like button on the way out, if you kindly would, to combat my continuous fight with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much. I'll be on tomorrow as soon as Trump jumps on, depending on the time. But yeah, drop your comments down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Have a nice night, everybody. Thank you so much.